All right, folks, welcome back to Mike and Maurice's Mind Escape. We have episode number 82 today. Sorry for the little delay in the beginning. Still working out the kinks with this new format we got kicking here. What's going on, Maurice?
Hello, hello. We got some new equipment and I am enjoying it thoroughly.
This kid fixed his mic for the first time ever.
And I sound delicious over here.
No, you don't, bro.
How is it going over there, man? It looks like a whole new room. It's all nice and blurry.
Yeah. It doesn't look like that on my end of things, but I'll take your word for it.
It's another mask. No, it looks good. Glad to be back. Summertime gets pretty hectic, you know. And you just got to try and find time to stay on top of the workload, but
yeah,
we're back.
Sorry for the little delay there. We were been out of it for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
We went on our annual camping trip called Hogar, which is in northern Michigan, for 4 or 5 days. Yeah, it was actually
nice little respite in the woods.
Yeah, it was fun to see Maurice all hammered. Which
man, why'd you have to bring it up, bro?
This kid tripped over the boombox a couple times. And by that, I mean,
want to apologize. I want to say sorry for my actions to all the people out there. I had a good time, but I had a little too good of a time. So
our cousin Rob was playing some gypsy jazz, and this kid was dancing like a drunken buffoon and tripped backwards over the boombox at least twice. We've got pictures of it, actually. Let me see if I can pull one up.
I was trying to do a little jig, man. I am half Irish, so I had that leprechaun step going. I was just trying to jibble jabble.
Yeah.
And no, but good times always had on the Manistee. Give a shout out to our Uncle John and all his kids, and then the Hogar crew is a bunch of our family, the Gardeners as well. Bob, Stu, Doug, what up, boys?
Yeah, Uncle John's kids really held the party down this year.
Yeah, what a great group. Really puts me to shame.
Yeah. You didn't do
I used to
anything.
make jokes because my cousin has the same name as me, Maurice Hogan. I used to say, "Oh, you're the lesser of the Maurices," but in reality, I'm actually the lesser of the Maurices.
You were making the joke, but in the meantime, you've become the joke. So that's
right.
Yeah.
It went from people laughing with you to at you, and that's why I want to remedy.
No, in all seriousness, though, you haven't really drank at all recently. I don't drink. I mean, once in a while I have a beer, but I think I had like 1 or 2 beers total on the trip. Yeah, it's just not my thing. But it was funny to see you kind of back in that mode because you've been pretty serious and pretty stern about things of late. With you being all creative now.
Right. Well, if you're gonna do it in the woods with family, all guys. Making jokes, jibber jabbering, and having a good time. But
I will say you took some sick pics the one night, even though you were a little hammered.
Yeah,
you took some pictures of the Milky Way.
Were amazing.
Yeah,
I got that new lens, that 16-35 Canon L Series 3, and yeah, it's bad, dude. It's really sweet.
What was the? That was a new camera, right? Was that the D6?
It's the 6D2 full frame. It's not that crazy. The video isn't all that great on it. It does shoot in 1080 and everything.
But the video doesn't do 4K though, like the Canon M50, right?
Right. Yeah, the M50 has some pretty good specs for being a little small camera. Actually, I mean, I'm looking at some of the more professional mirrorless cameras from Canon. The next batch that comes out, I think, are really gonna have good specs. So I'm waiting for the next batch. And there's rumors that right before the Olympics here, they're going to release a bunch of new cameras. And we'll see what comes out.
And you just came out with a side page. We got a couple side hustles on YouTube. We've got our Ancient Secrets channel, which go check out, youtube.com/Ancient Secrets. And check out Maurice's comedy page, Fat Earth Comedy. And then your new one that you started is called Hiking with Hogan.
Yes. And no, it's called the page is Maurice Hogan.
Oh yeah, it's just a goofy picture of you, and then it's the little.
No, it's me with my camera gear on, bro. That's me in my serious work mode. Okay. Don't don't make jabs at me, bro.
Okay, Baba Booey. Okay.
No.
No, but in all seriousness, yeah, you took some sick pictures, so that was pretty cool. It's amazing how good those cameras are too, because you look up and you can kind of barely see the Milky Way, but if you leave that exposure kick in, I mean, some of those pics, it look pretty crisp.
Yeah, it's all about that long exposure, and you can really jack up the ISO on these new cameras. Get not as much grain. Back in the day, you'd always get grain, you know.
Yeah.
I was watching this little documentary about this guy talking about using old film cameras, and he was saying how he could do really cool long exposure like star trails and stuff, but he could never get really crisp shots of the Milky Way until digital actually came out. So he switched over. I take pictures. I go, these are pretty sweet. You know, I enjoy them.
Right.
Then I look at the stuff on Instagram, and it really crushes your dreams. You're looking at some of the crazy. You're like, just like, oh my god, these guys are so good.
Like, what's the best camera? What's the best? Well, like, what's if you somebody gave you $1 million and said buy the best camera to do like astrophotography or
for photography?
Yeah, or like anything. What would be not video, but like what would be the best camera for that?
The best stills would for Canon would be the what is it? It's like the MX. I don't even know what it's called.
That one I told you, that one lady.
The EOS R is pretty sweet. It's a mirrorless one, but yeah, no, the Mark III.
The lady that did our engagement photos for my wife and I's wedding, and she used it at the wedding too. I think it was
5D Mark III or 5D Mark II. Actually.
It was a Mark IV.
No. 5D Mark IV. Rather, I'm stuck in the past. The 5D Mark II, when it came out, was like revolutionary. Yeah. All these the documentary filmmakers were using it because it's pretty cheap and it has a really good image. There's another camera that Canon has though, that's the MDX or the XD2 or something. It was made for sports photography, but the video is unbelievable in it.
What?
But then if you talk about cinema, that's a whole nother animal, you know.
Yeah, you still got your eye on, even though you just got a new camera, you still eyeballing that little blackjack.
Well, if you can get a camera that shoots in these log profiles, like Canon's new EOS R does it, and then some of the other cameras do it, like that GH5 does it.
Oh yeah, the Panasonic one.
Yeah, you can shoot the image and it's really, really flat, so you pick up way more detail, and then when you put it in post, you can add more of a color grade to it and make it look, you know, more artsy. You can add your own flavor to it, more, you know. And
yeah,
so that's what I'm looking at.
I gotta mess with the Canon, the M50. I haven't even opened it up yet. I've just been so busy with work. I gotta open that thing up and mess with it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a nice little beginner camera. You're gonna enjoy that thing. It's fun to look through. For me, taking pictures, I try and have it look, you know, a little different than the eye. So I'm either doing long exposures or
you're doing that thing. You go, it's all about how you mix it up. When we were camping and you were kind of drunk and you're like holding up a flashlight, like running in front of the camera.
Yeah, I was doing some light painting.
Yeah.
You got to mix it up, bro. You got to think outside the box too.
The best shot that you've taken, I think, was the one where you know, the glowing bocce ball. Yeah,
that was a pretty cool shot.
They make these bocce balls that glow in the dark. We play with them when we're camping. I haven't seen them the last couple
really
of years.
Fun. But that's a good time.
You did like an extended exposure.
The long exposure.
Yeah, and it kind of looks like Ghostbusters. Like what did Nick commented? He's like, it looks like they're catching ghosts.
Ghostbusters dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, don't cross the streams.
Yeah,
that was a good year. I think that was the 25th annual actually. Because Uncle Bill was on that trip.
That was already 5 years ago. I guess Rogers hasn't come up for 3 or 4 years, right? It's been
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, our camping trip's crazy. I kind of... dude, it was super fucking cold this year. Let me tell you something. I made the mistake. Normally I'm hot, and I like to wake up in that cool, crisp feeling, you know? And I had that blow-up mattress, but I didn't bring a sleeping bag. I just brought a sheet and a pillow, and boy, was that a mistake.
I heard about that.
I was literally like...
You're like my mom, you have like bedding.
Dude, I was literally like shaking all night, and I was wearing a full jacket, long sleeve shirt, pants, shorts underneath I was freezing still.
Wow, yeah, that wasn't even cold there. If
My
you were in
body
a
was.
rock
I'm not even
depressed, you
joking you.
would've-
I
you
thought
would've
something was.
convulsed.
I thought something was wrong with me. I was still shaking 2 days after, for real. I'm not even messing around right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. But
Watch out for the mountains, because every like 1,000 feet you go, it gets 5 degrees colder.
I
It's
mean, I can
very
handle.
chilly.
I'm a big boy, obviously. I can handle my cool weather. You know, I like it.
Oh yeah.
I actually I actually prefer it. But
Right.
at
Nice
nighttime,
hibernating weather.
I mean, for some reason at nighttime, I mean, how cold do you think it got up there? Like 40 degrees, 45 degrees. It was pretty cold.
Yeah, I was just so acclimated to the Colorado stuff that it felt like Hawaii to me.
Dude,
Because that stuff was very cold. I couldn't even sleep some nights.
like the one night where you got up to take a dump in the middle of the night.
Oh my gosh, man! I gotta bring out my
Dude,
dirty laundry.
This is the best story. Okay, I am gonna sell it because this is the funny. Okay, so I'm laying there freezing my ass off trying to fall asleep. I just can't. Okay, maybe I hit the pen. I tried everything. Couldn't wear myself out. So I'm sitting there. This kid's hammered. He'd gone to bed like an hour before my cousin Rob and I had gone to bed. And for some reason, he was hammered. You could hear him get up. He goes, ah, and he's getting up. He's getting out of his little one-man tent. He opens up the thing, starts.
It's a two-man. Get your facts straight,
It's
bro.
a one-man for me, at least.
It's a two-man.
But
well, there you go.
I'll remember that next time you fit 2 men in there. Okay, so he's walking into the woods. And there's like a path to the outhouse. Okay, he does not take the path. I can hear him walking through the densest brush that's around us. He doesn't walk down the road or the cutout, trails to get there. He walks through the woods, and I hear him fall. I hear like shit crackling. It sounded like Bigfoot, like trampling around in the brush, and he must have finally found his way, because I did hear a door slam at some point. So at least you didn't shit your pants or shit in the woods, or
No,
I guess.
I finally put the puzzle together. I figured it out.
And then somehow he found his way back, because I heard him walk all the way across the whole campground along the long ways down the road. So I mean, this kid was hammered. Okay, so but
No, I was going for an adventure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, man.
I will say this: if you're gonna do that, you definitely do it right. You double down and you really get down and dirty with it.
Yeah,
you don't even drink anymore. So how much? How much
drink? Then when you do drink,
how much beer do you think you
you're very
drink?
lightweight. That's what Jason was saying. He's like, leave the drinking to the people that know what they're doing.
But how many beers do you think you drink? Probably not even that many, right?
I think I had like 4 the first night. I mean, I was a little buzzed, but I didn't really have a hangover the next day. And then when you're on the river, you're just sucking them down. It was nice and hot out. They were really quenching the thirst. And then one thing leads to another, and you get yucca. That stuff's a motherfucker.
Yeah, so they make this stuff called yucca. For anybody that's out there that's heard of it, it's you take like one of those soccer coolers, with the little spout that you flip up on top, and you throw either whole grain alcohol or vodka.
No, they whole grain alcohol. They always use just
people
vodka,
do it with
bro.
whole people do it with whole
yeah,
grain.
that's fine. Don't elude to this fact that we're drinking whole grain alcohol.
They're drinking rubbing alcohol. No, but I've seen people do it with whole grain alcohol, so it's not that crazy. But
Right, I'm just group. We're not that crazy.
Okay, so they use vodka, and then you mix in a little sugar, a little lemon, a bunch of ice, and you pass it around, and everybody shakes it, and slowly the ice starts to dissolve, and you get this kind of like a lemonade.
Watered down vodka with sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a lemonade, but you don't know. It's so sweet that you can't tell how much liquor's in there. So everybody that's pounding this thing down, they think, oh, it tastes good or whatever, and everybody knows. I mean, they're just going to get hammered every year. They forget or something. I don't know, or they just don't care.
That's the first time I've really gotten hammered from it, because I'm always pretty put together when it comes out, and I just take little tiny sips.
Yeah.
If you're any kind of buzz though, and you start like taking big,
wait, what was that? This kid's.
You take a little goggle. The next thing you know, you're gonna be speaking like a baby.
Yeah. Well,
so
it got pretty tense.
All fun, all good fun.
What else did you do that was fucked up that we can talk about? No, I'm joking.
Wow, this guy's really trying to put this under the magnifying glass. First of all, the one rule about Hogar is what happens there stays on Hogar.
No.
This guy is all of a sudden airing the dirty laundry. Go talk to Don Henley, you asshole.
But we actually didn't play as much poker like we normally. I mean, we played poker, but we didn't play as much as we normally do.
Right on, yeah. I made a couple of beans, that's for sure.
Did you? Literally, it shows you growing some beans on this.
But yeah, all in all, good year. And it was the 30th year. We've been going on this thing for 30 years straight since I've been 4 years old. I think actually you've been coming for 29.
Yeah, since I was 5. I came the year after it started.
We've all missed a couple, maybe.
I missed freshman year for football, and then one year when I was older where it was just you, I think, and Rob.
Yeah,
Rob didn't go either or something. I don't know.
That freshman one, man, that was right when we got busted for smoking bud. And I had to go live with my dad. They threatened me with going to live with my dad. Can you imagine that? Just think of that as a punishment. Doesn't really make any sense.
Your dad's the coolest motherfucker. Your
punishment is you're going to live with your dad. I'm just saying that. Why is that a punishment? But
and then you get there and your dad's telling you the stories about going to Crosby, Stills and Nash in Toronto.
I don't think that story came out just yet. I think it was still tender in a little situation.
Yeah,
I had to paint garages and whatnot. Remember we were working at Prime Source that summer.
Oh yeah. Dude,
I was like, I'm gonna jump on a train, man, and go and get the fuck out of town.
Dude, Prime Source was crazy if you think about all the shit that we were doing there.
We actually accomplished a lot the first
year. We did. We painted painted this whole warehouse. It was probably like 4 or 5 football fields long. I mean, it was fucking huge. It was a plastic factory.
Yeah.
And we had to clean the walls and then paint. And
I think it was built out in the 1930s or something.
It was fucking huge. I mean, I don't even.
Old.
Yeah, but. We remember those. They got us these things to clean the floors, and they looked like mini Zambonis, and we were like doing crazy stunt shit on these things, spinning them out, and yeah, that was some good times.
Yeah,
I remember the one year we had more people on the crew, and somebody was on a forklift.
Oh, I think that was our senior year.
Somebody was on a forklift, and it was spinning, and they were holding onto the side, and nobody was in control of this thing. It just kept spinning around. I don't even know how the hell that happened, but. Yeah. Oh yeah. Your sister Jay. What was his name? Jay.
Yeah, my sister at the time's boyfriend.
I liked that guy. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. But you guys were the worst. The whole workforce was fucking ran by the man, bro.
When it was just you and I, it was fine. When you get more people and everybody's smoking bud and going 2-hour lunches.
Crashing cars. These guys crashed the car. We had a company truck. You would drive around the land.
What was the other thing? Getting entire Crave cases from fucking White Castles and eating the whole thing. I mean,
that's what I was talking to Rob about. We could do whole episodes on what our activities were at lunch. We would go to Caesarland. We'd have pizza eat-off competitions.
Yeah.
We'd go bowling. I'd sleep in the back of the truck.
I forgot Caesarland, though. Completely forgot about that. Wow, yeah.
That's American Dreams problems. We'd go to this place.
That was 8 Mile, because that was off 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Kevin M.
Eat as much pizza as you could, and then go bake out in the sun. Let that cheese curdle up in your gut.
We got Kevin M over here working off 8 Mile.
Yo, what's up, motherfucker? I'm on rap battle after work. You better come see this shit. I just got done fucking scrubbing a bathroom. Remember how sick that place was?
Oh,
Those
yeah.
bathrooms were heinous.
That was disgusting, bro.
Yeah, I saw you grab one of those penthouses off the floor, too.
Wipe my ass with it.
DNA.
Wipe my ass with it.
Yeah, you got hepatitis A through A.
Wash my body with Gojo after scrub this thing to immaculate fucking.
Oh yeah.
That gritty shit, that stuff that you wash the industrial cleanser shit. That stuff's pretty intense.
And then we had our first experience using lead-based paint. That's what I'm
talking
about.
I had a pair of like all white Adidas, and I dipped them in the gold.
Michael Jackson.
It was Michael Johnson, the runner, actually, from the Olympics. I dipped these things in gold. These things. It was actually pretty funny.
Fucking guy was trying to. People bronze their baby shoes. This guy was trying to bronze his high school shoe. Fucking thing was that size 12, dipped in metallic.
That's
funny.
The worst was the burrs, though.
The Burr War.
Yeah,
that thing was intense.
There's these, burrs. They stick to your, they're like a plant or like they fall off trees.
I think
or
they're
whatever.
the seed for that plant.
Are they?
Yeah, they grabbed you, and then that's how they spread.
So they're these like little balls that have these little spurs on them, and we got this stupid idea where we would dip them in paint and then throw them at each other, and they'd stick into your skin.
Stupid idea. That's warfare, baby.
And I remember I pissed Devin off real bad, and this kid got started chasing down. Yeah.
That was a good time. That was a horrific time for me though. When you and Devin would team up on me.
Yeah.
It was a bird against bears.
The double team.
Double team.
The double team.
Yeah. So, good times though. I'm glad my dad employed all your asses.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not glad, but whatever.
No. You were there from the get go though. As soon as the Mambro got there, he was dropping like paint on new asphalt.
Remember when he fucked up remember when he crushed the truck into the pylon?
You guys would go out to cut the lawn. It would literally take you like 2 days to cut this lawn.
Yeah.
You're out there sitting on the truck, puffing. I remember when we went to on fish tour and you guys bought a bunch of hash, brought it back to the work site. That was when the whole summer was done. You think these guys are fucking getting work done? They're smoking hash. They got little hay in their toes. They're kicked back underneath a tree, smoking hash pipes.
Yeah, that's some good times. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Those summers were crazy, man. I mean,
it was that summer though. It was the summer of it.
It was like the Caddyshack of plastic factories going on.
They call me Noonan.
But yeah, man.
That's a good movie idea, though. It's just a bunch of ragtag guys working on this fucking. They dropped the brand new asphalt. You could eat off this stuff.
Yeah.
This guy drives lead-based paint, white all over it.
Yeah. Remember when you got caught sleeping on the job? This kid rolled up a.
I used the cubicle.
Okay, first of all, we had our boss. It was just him and I the first year, and our boss was named Al Lundy. Was it Al Lundy? It was Al
Lundy bald.
We called him Al Bundy, and this guy had a missing finger on his one hand, and
he had multiple missing fingers.
Oh yeah, multiple missing. He must have obviously worked in the factory before that and lost a couple.
Yeah, Nubsy Doolittle. He used to work on the machines.
Yeah, he was a machine worker, but he was our boss, like overseeing stuff. And one day it was like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it was fucking early. Like to wake up in the summer when you're in high school like that's shitty. But
I think we started at 8. But
we were getting paid well. But anyways, we were partying the night before, and you were tired as fuck. And then we were supposed to take turns, but he came in when you were sleeping, and I was like painting the wall. I was painting the wall and didn't see him come in, and he came right in, and you made it like a pillow out of like a like a painting blanket, like a tarp, and then there was these like old cubicle like separators, and he laid one down like a cot because it like sunk down, you know.
Oh, it was a nice bed.
You were laying on that and had the pillow and everything. You were fully sleeping too. He's like, "What the fuck's going on?"
That's what I'm talking about.
We couldn't get fired, obviously, because your dad was running the show, but it was just pretty.
That would have been funny if it was like an I Love Lucy where you're painting and then you look over and then you look back, you're painting his face. Here's Nubsy.
That is some old ragtag type shit.
I remember that we had to paint that office right when you walked in. That was our first task. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I looked at you. I'm like, this is what we're going to be doing all summer? This is going to suck.
Well, and you can see where you're starting and where you're going. Like, it's so far. Like, it would take you a minute to drive a car from the one end going like 20 miles an hour to the other end, you know?
Yeah. We had to clean out the slop in those machines, just covered in grease. From head to toe, man. You look like the fucking Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, that's why you needed the Gojo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was some good times, though, but what are you going to do? When you're that age, that's what it's all about. You got to get that working when you're that age. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I think we were making pretty good money. I forget how much a week, like $300 to $500 a week or something. It was pretty good.
Yeah, what did we spend that on as kids? That's insane.
Fish tour. We went to
that's fucking fish tour.
Well,
that's more money?
I mean, you save money, but senior year, I think we went to Bonnaroo, and then we also went to the Fish Festival, in Maine.
Yeah.
And, I mean, those two alone. I mean, think about the Bonnaroo tickets are not cheap, and then the fish tickets for It Festival weren't cheap, and then all the gas to get there, all your.
Plus, you probably squirreled all the money
Plus
away
you're
for college and stuff.
smoking-
Or at least I had to.
Smoking tons of bud and doing stupid shit. I mean, I used to drink back then too, so we were drinking. You know.
I'm talking about freshman year though. What were we spending our money on then?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's gone.
I mean, I had a car starting sophomore year.
That's funny that you said that because I was just thinking about that when you bumped that girl in the Wendy's line. I don't know who it was,
I think
but
it was Aubrey.
Yeah.
Her brand new
Pulled up at
yellow.
Wendy's to get our lunch.
Her brand new yellow Jeep or something.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You go no, and first of all, don't say I. You're the one that you're like bumper. You're the
bump and tickle.
You were the one pushing for the agenda. So the worst was, remember when I got pulled over for having we were late for school, and the cop pulled me over for having like a one of my taillights was out. I go, can you just? That. And he's like, your taillight's out, but a week ago somebody threw garbage out your window onto this guy's lawn. Remember that?
Yep.
Remember that shit? I had to go to fucking court for that shit. It was that's the only time I've ever really been in trouble. It wasn't even really trouble. Somebody littered out of my car, and then a week later somehow, I don't know if the guy got my license plate, like the guy that was living. Okay, so this is what happened. We went out to lunch. I think we went to Wendy's, and then in high school we'd pull down these side streets, park on a side street in random people's houses, and just eat our lunch. And
don't make it sound any weirder. Jesus.
The one guy was in my car. I think it was, I can't remember. It was either Kevin Smith or Andrew
Kevin Spacey
or Andrew Timrak. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah.
One of them threw shit out my window, like littered on this guy in this pink Jetta. He had like a Krispy Kreme hat. Swerves in front of my car, blocks me in, and goes, pick that up. And these kids are like, no, I'm not going to pick that up. And I was like, I'm not getting my, like, the guy was just being a total dick. And there was like garbage. It was garbage day. So like it was kind of by where the garbage gets taken out. And he must have gotten my license plate. So like a week later we pull him to school. And yeah, that was crazy, man. Because I remember I was late to take a test and I was just trying to find a parking spot. And he's like, oh, and he gave me like 3 tickets, like one for not using my signal, one for having like a light out on my car, and then one for the littering.
Really stuck it to you.
And they wanted like $1,000 for the littering ticket, which is crazy to me. But then, I mean,
was it in Grosse Pointe or Harper Hoods?
It was in Harper Woods. It was on, I forget whatever one of the first streets is, but kind of by, you know, where you go to like the National Coney Island. It was like one street over from there.
Okay, that might be St. Clair Shores.
No, I think it was Harper Woods. I don't remember. No,
I think it was St. Clair Shores.
It was Grosse Pointe though. So Grosse Pointe cop pulled me over, so because that's where I had to go to court. Anyways,
yeah, it's definitely Grosse Pointe.
The guy. I told him like I tried to hold the kid responsible. He didn't want anything to do with it. So the guy's like, all right, $100. So like they made me pay $100 fee for. But it's like, think about that, dude. Think about throwing something out of your window and then like a week later getting pulled over for it. Like that's fucking insane, isn't it?
I mean, people get pictures taken of their cars and then they have to fucking pay.
Well, that's different. You're doing an actual like traffic violation through.
You did a violation.
But the cop wasn't there, and I didn't get photographed or anything. Like it was like
man.
Their word versus mine.
Well,
did he call the cops after and like they put a little, you know, caution tape around the little fucking double bacon cheeseburger?
Oh, yeah, calm down. They drew out an outline with chalk and shit.
Yeah, I mean that's just. I'm just saying, like that's crazy shit.
I'm just saying, isn't it by chance that you might have your accounts be tied up and twisted?
What do you mean?
Like the way that you remember it.
Oh, I was younger, so it was probably.
It might have been skewed, my friend.
I was probably more of a dick, but there wasn't a cop there to witness it. Nor, I mean, people back then didn't really have like.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying these guys probably threw a fucking bag of garbage on some guy's lawn.
Even if that's the case, what is that? I mean,
the cats that you're describing to me were pranksters back in the day. So
but even if that's the case, a week later, that's fucking insane. I don't know.
You gotta execute.
It's not like a cop watching somebody flick a cigarette out the window or a cup, or you know, it's a week later.
Hey man, I'm all for it, man. I want to see people follow through in life. I want to see these criminals brought to justice.
Yeah, well.
So
I caught a little bit of that justice. So
where'd you get that car? That old fucking.
My dad got it for me
Jeeper.
for my 16th birthday. It was a old Blazer. Yeah, it was like a Chevy.
Oh,
Blazer.
it was a